Hello and welcome back to the channel. So if you've been following the channel recently, thank you very much for that. You will know that we've come to a bit of a halt, or you actually might not know yet, depending on what episode you're looking at, that we had to stop because of the bad weather we've been having in the UK at the moment, which has been below zero and maximum 1 degree, I think, at one point last week. So we haven't been able to lay bricks. So we've come to a bit of a stall. We've done other little bits of jobs that we need to get on top of, and this is one that I've been asked to do on the channel a few times in the comments. You know, what do you have in your tool belt? What tool belt have you got? So I thought I'd take advantage of the not being able to work on site and go through it now. As the title suggests, this is the Perkins Builder Brothers tool belt that I purchased about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Should I say received about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I've only used it once or twice so far. I've got used to where everything is as such now, because it's always a big thing when you get a new tool belt. You got so used to wearing a certain tool belt to where things go that when you change, you find yourself, well, I do anyway. I don't know if you agree. In the comments below, what do you think? I find myself sort of doing this and where is everything, but I think I'm okay with it now. I'm happy with everything I've got in it. I'm waiting for a new set of carpenter's nips to come through, which I've ordered, a Nipex set. But apart from that, this is as it is. So let's take everything out of it. I'll show you what I carry in my tool belt, and then I'll go through a couple of things that I really like, including on the back of here you've got a good tool storage for your power tools. So let's take everything out and we'll have a chat what I've got in my tool belt. Okay, so a quick run through then what we've got in my tool belt that I carry day to day. So starting from left to right, no particular order. So I've got a set of carpenter's nips that I've thought pincers, whatever you want to call them, that I've had for a long time now, as you can tell by them. I actually think my dad gave me them a long time ago. So I'm going to get a new set because they've gone a bit blunt now, so get a new set of them. This is a backhoe chisel knife. Now you can probably see from the footage that's been grained a few times, but that is a great tool to have because you can use it like a normal chisel, or you can hit the back of it with a hammer just to get a bit of timber out, whatever you need to do. I use that for everything though, bits of mortar and everything, so that's a really good piece of kit to have. Little Milwaukee, sorry, that's wrong, that's a Halter Falls flat bar. My last one was a Milwaukee one that I lost. So that's a little flat Halter Falls, if I'm pronouncing that correct. I'll put it on the screen now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, so that's a good thing to have. Little Milwaukee white marker. This is ideal for bits of plastic, or it's a bit like a Tipex pen really, but that's ideal. Steels are really a good one if you're marking holes in steels, or you've got to mark a reference on something, or you know, whatever. This little thing is called a marksman, and what that is a little tool that you can use for if you've drilled your holes in your timber and you want to put it on a wall. That you just put that in the hole and you press it, and that gives you a green dot. Now I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well. I'll try and do it on here if I can, so you can see it on the footage now. When you press it, it creates a green cross. I don't know if you can see that very well. If you can't, I'll zoom in on it and I'll take a picture of it for you. But that is a great piece of kit to have. So this is a crescent little 6-inch square, speed square, but I quite like the fact you've got that on it as well, and this is made by Crescent. Now I had to stop a couple of videos that I'd seen this on and try and expand the screen to try and find out what this was, but I eventually found out, and this is my second one now, and I know that Adam's got one of these as well. Not sure if Mick has, but anyway, he might have. But that's great. That gives you that extra up to a 12-inch square. No, you wouldn't use it for joinery because this isn't 100% bang on, but if you're just doing roofing work and you just want a quick reference to square to, or run your saw against, that's great. And that locks in, cut the ball bearings on the bottom, locks in place, that's good. Little adjustable spanner, little 10mm ratchet spanner, use that quite a lot. Then I've got a bit of wax if you're cutting, I don't know much hand sawing, but if you're doing a roof, doing the bird's mouth, then that's always good to put in your saw to stop your saw binding. Little bit of a couple of markers. I've got a Sharpie there. I've got a fine little clutch pencil there, little fine one. Nail punch, 10mm chisel, and then that is the blades for this, which is a little snap off blade there. Going up to the top, I've got my Hilti measure, Digi measure, which I use quite a lot. If you've seen any of the videos recently, I think I last used it on the skirting and architrave one. My little chalk line, standing chalk line, I've had that a long time. Yeah, again, I think my dad gave me that a long time ago. I've tried to change away from it, but can't get away from it. I love it too much. Okay, this is my Presh, if that's how you pronounce it. Little combination square. Use that a lot again. Now, this is something that it's not really a carpenter, it's a painter's tool, but this is called a Purdy. Now, not sure if that's a right on what way to pronounce it. Well, I think it is. There's no other pronunciation really, but this is. It's got a lot of different uses, and we use it a lot. Adam loves this. I bought one. He liked it. Used it a lot, and he was using mine all the time. So I bought him one, and he carried it all the time. Use it. It's very useful piece of kit for all manner of things. So well worth a purchase on that. This is Trend, I think. A little flush cut saw. I'll keep that in my pouch because it's useful for a bit of everything. If you want to fine adjust anything, it's good. If you want to cut, and then obviously ultimately it's for cutting or flush cutting things off that you don't want to damage the wood that you put it into. So if you've looked at the stairs video, I use this on the stairs video. So you can cut your pegs, your pellets. Sorry, that's good for that. But it is useful for a lot of different things. So again, pronunciation time. Weha, whatever. This is great. I use it all the time. Again, mine's a little bit odd, so I'll come apart now. But you've got your general bits in there for screwdriving, and that's very useful to have. In saying mine's fallen apart now. There we go. Look, mine's fell apart. I've had it a long time. I'm reluctant to buy another one because apart from the fact that about £50 now or something, there's nothing wrong with it. Only it falls apart. So this is my Milwaukee little fold away standing knife. I like that. You've got the option there to put your spare blades in there, so I like that. Yeah, it's always good. Not as bulky as a big Stanley blade. Again, I've just showed you already, but this is my little cut off blade. I like to keep that in there. That's good. Sometimes you want to get in a bit close, so you can obviously extend your blade, getting a bit closer rather than a Stanley knife. That's good to have. And I think that is, in fact, yeah, it's just an Amazon Basics thing. Right. This is a Milwaukee pry bar or cat's paw, whatever you want to do. But the good thing about this is that part there that you can see on the camera is, and forgive me because I'm trying to look at this one above me and this one as well. So if the footage isn't great, my apologies, but I'm trying to multitask and show from the top and for the side. So this is good. That part there, if you've got a screw or a nail that you've got in a bit of timber, you're not too concerned about the mess you're going to make of it, but you don't want the nail there in case you cut through it with your saw. If you're rough cutting timber or you've made a mistake with a nail and you've got to get it out, a joist or whatever, you put that bit over the top of the nail, you hit it in, that then forms a bit of a rebate around it, if you like, or a hole around the nail, and then you can get that part in to start it off, and then that eventually you can get that in then to prise the nail out. And I actually made a short of that. It's on our channel. Really good. Okay, so this is a Starrett angle finder. Don't use this a lot, but there we go. It's one of the things I like to have in my pouch. I'd actually forgot I'd got it, if I'm honest, because I've keep it in my my little tote bag that I've got, and I found it recently. I thought, Brian, why haven't I got it in my pouch? So that's a good thing to have as well. It's a Starrett angle finder, very good. Skirtings or whatever you want to do. Okay, so Milwaukee belt level. Now, what I will say about this is the second one I've had, because the first one I had to send it back because the bubble went. However, Milwaukee being Milwaukee, were quite good. I sent them a couple of pictures of the fact it's out, and they sent it brand new one in the box, everything good to go. Good thing about this is you have got the option on there to turn this to whatever angle you want. So let's say, for example, you found your angle there, and then you want to check it if you wanted to. All you do, you undo that there, you turn this to whatever angle it is, lock it off, and then of course when the bubble goes in the line, there we are. That's good. It's magnetic as well, really strong magnets. That's really great as well. Have I mentioned this? No. Right, okay, so you've all seen these. This is a Halter Fours again, pencil, dry marker pencil I think they call them. And I like these particularly because I like where the sharpener is on it, which is there. I like the fact of how positive it clicks into there. And I just prefer this. I've got the tracer one, and I've also had the picker one, and this is, in comparison to it, this is relatively inexpensive compared to the picker, but this is a really good one. It's the second one I've had, only because I think after a while, if you've been using it on anything abrasive, say, I mean, I use this for all the things that I do. So if I've been marking blocks, for example, to cut them when I'm with Adam doing the bricking, a bit of grit gets in there, and what it does, it wears it down inside there, and that just becomes a bit loose. But I still prefer these than the picker or the tracer. Okay, so this is a fist guard hammer. I like this. I'd had a hammer for a long time and decided to change my hammer. Mick had bought one and I really liked it. I like it's a 20 ounce, I like the weight of it, I like the design of it, I like the claws a bit flatter, so you can use it to lift things as well as get nails out. You've got to be careful when you get nails out, because it's so flat. When you pull it, you can flick it in your face, so you've got to be careful. But again, size and weight, I love that. Right then, so if you've got any questions about anything I've got here, or in actual fact, if you could suggest anything that I should have in my belt as a carpenter, and I'm not a specific, and I think I've said this before, I'm not a specific carpenter, which meaning I'm not first fix or second fix or joinery only. When I did mine, City and Guilds, you did all of it. That's what you did, and it was part of your trade to do everything from making things, making doors, windows, right up to fitting a roof on site. So that's how I've maintained my trade. I don't specify or go towards one certain bit, because it opens you up to more jobs if you need to. Right then, so I'll put this away, and then we'll have a look at the tool belt itself, and we'll go through what's in it, what pouches are in it, what top stuff you can put in it, this, and yeah, and we'll go through that. Okay then, so I'm going to go through the belt. I purchased this, as I've already said, I think it was about 3 weeks ago I received it. I've used it once or twice. I've adjusted a few things to suit me, but what we will do, I'll break it down now in terms of, I'm not going to take it apart, because it's a pain in the backside to put back out exactly how I want it again, so I'm not going to take it apart, but I'll show you how it comes, and we'll go through it bit by bit. So when it comes in a few pieces. These aren't hooked onto the belt, these are separate. And what this is, your typical harness, and what we've got on here is a magnet there, which is really good to put certain bits on. You've got that part there on their tool belt is shown as a mobile phone. Put your mobile phone there, and it does take quite a large mobile phone. Mine is an iPhone 13 and it goes in there easily. However, I decided to put my glasses in there, safety glasses, because I wear these all the time. Don't take them off much, so that's an ideal place for me. I like to put my phone in my my leg pocket out the way. Again, that's just there. I've just put that on there just to show you, but I don't keep things on that magnet in case it falls off and I lose them. That's good. The little pouch there for your little ear protection, which is really good as well, which I was pleased about that. And then you get 3 pouches that comes with it as well. So you've got this one, which when I received it, this hammer pouch there, which is fixed onto the back of it like that with the strap, was actually fixed onto this one. Designing it to be, this was on the right hand side, but I changed it, which is again one of the good things about it, you can change it. You just undo these couple of bolts there, and then you clip it on under the bolts, bolt them back on, and put the strap back on, because I like my tape on my left hand side and my hammer on my right hand side, so that's why I split it up. So you get, looking at the pouches then, you get this one, which is your tape goes in there. So I have got a Milwaukee 8 metre stud, just the name of it, and that goes in there easily. It doesn't, it gets a bit slacker as you use it, but it goes in really easy. I was worried about it not going in and being a bit too tight, but as they explain on their video that they've got for this tool belt, this is designed for this, so you can have a bigger tape in there. Okay, so you've got a hard sort of case there, which is for your knife, which is what I've got there, my little backhoe knife, and that in there, that's plastic in there, and that obviously stops any damage caused to your pouch, which if you all know, and I've done it myself, I normally have like a bit of a sheath on mine, which was like that, to put in there, and then that's how it comes, and it had a clip on it, and I always keep that in my belt. But with this one now, I can take that off and put that in there. And all I generally do then is, because I've got this little flat bar, what I tend to do is that just goes in there like that, and that actually holds that in place as well. That's a good place for it. So then you've got a place for your speed square. Now I actually think the speed square goes in there and as well. However, I find there's a place in there that's great for the speed square. Now my apologies if the footage isn't great for this, but what I will do is I'll do a bit of footage in a minute, just going through actually in detail and zoom right down onto the pouch itself. But in there's a place for the speed square. There's another little slot there that you can put stuff, and then it's an open pouch then. And then you've got another pouch there, which is great. And then this front pouch is again, you could get a small tape in there. That tape goes in there, so if you didn't want this one up high and you wanted to put something else in there, you can do, because that tape goes in there easy. But that's where I like to keep my tool belt. That's where I like to keep my tape, because I quite like it there, rather than being down on my leg. The good thing about this is what it is, you'll show it footage in a minute, I'll put it on, you can see what I'm saying, but I'm not a big person, so I always found these big tool belts, apart from that you look stupid, it tends to come down to your knees. So I really like this. It's not a low slung tool belt at all, but there's plenty of room for you to get stuff in. So like I've already said to you, this is, you can move these around and you can suit yourself where this goes, but that's where I want mine. On this, you get this pouch at the back. Now I think they on their explanation of it all, they've got their chalk line there, which is great, because I do keep my chalk line there, which is great because I don't use it all the time, but I do also keep my digital finder as well, measure as in there as well, which fits in really nice. That fits in tidy. I haven't had any problems with it coming out yet, so I'm pleased with that. And then on this side, and again you can take these off. These all, sorry, didn't mention, did I? These are just velcroed on onto here. You can hear that. They get velcroed on, and then the back of it actually velcros to the belt as well. It is a padded belt, which is quite nice on your back. So if you have any back problems or whatever, it does offer you some support. So the other good things that I like about this is, again, because they've designed it specifically for how they use it, they've identified certain things that they wanted in their belt, and then they designed it to fit it. So one of the things that I do quite like is your cat's paw, and this isn't a small one, this is quite a big one. That fits perfect in there, really, really good. Just as the hammer goes in there, and what that does, it actually slings behind the pouch, and it doesn't clutch you in the knee again. Because like I say, if you're not a tall person, then any hammer, if you've got a decent hammer, will clutch you in the knee or on the side of your leg, and it gets on your nerves. However, because the way that's designed, it actually goes behind, and then it holds it nice and tight. It takes some getting used to. If you're sort of been a bit of an awkward position, like you're on a roof and you're trying to bend over, it takes a bit of something to get it in, because it is quite, if I just take that out of there, it is quite a slim opening, but you do get used to it, and I am used to it now. That's quite quickly. Yeah, I like that idea. I did have a Tough Built tool belt, and Mick's got Tough Built set up, and they've got one, but that's actual separate pouch, and I really like that, the fact you can have it slung like that. So in this one, let me just take that out of there to make it a bit easier than that. So in this one, you've got one big pouch, which you could put your speed square in, no problem at all. And just demonstrate that again. You can put your speed square in there now, but I think it must be that one, because it just fit nicer. I did think that the tape holder was going to get in the way of the speed square, but it doesn't. Again, you get used to the way you've got things, so you just get used to sort of coming in from the side and down rather than pulling straight up, which is great. So again, you've got another slim pouch, like I've just said, where the speed square could go. Another slim pouch next to it, and then I believe that this front one, if I remember rightly, on their channel, they did say that this was specifically designed for 90mm pas load, or whatever make a model of nailer you've got. I've got a Hikoki gas nailer, or gasless nailer, sorry. So that's designed for 90mm nails, and I haven't got any to hand at the minute because we're on the job we're doing, but that's what it's for. So what I will do is, if I can get hold of some from somewhere, I'll do a bit of a shot and put them in there. But they've showed it on their channel, and it does go in there, and you can see them when they're doing their job, that the lads are carrying them in that pouch, so that it does work. So apart from that then, what I will do now is I want to talk about these two things here, which are if you can see them on whichever shot you've got you in there. These two at the back are designed to carry your power tools that have these clips on. Now I didn't used to put these clips on before. They used to do my head in, these clips did. Plus when you're trying to store them, they used to get in the way. But now it's more versatile now. The tools are better. They can use these for multiple things now. Like for example, this one now, I can use this with these hex bits now. I can put that in there. I haven't got to carry 2 drills anymore. Even though I do use 2 drills, you can do that easy. So that's why that's on there really. And you can carry both. But what I will say is with these, again, because I'm not a large waisted person, if you can imagine this pouch and they're a lot closer together. So I was concerned that I wouldn't be able to get my drill on properly, but that's not the case at all. Even down to, I was using this one on a job recently, and this has got quite a small clip on it. I don't know if you can see much on there, but I can sort of show that on there. Quite a small clip, and even that I found that I could just put it on without any trouble at all. Again, I'll show you a bit of footage in a minute. I'm going to try and show it off a little bit if I can, and show you what I mean by how easy it is to get in and out, speed square, all that. I'll do that in a minute. But yeah, these are really good to get in and out. So I was really pleased with that. I don't use the left one as much because I'm right-handed, so I like to have everything on my right-hand side. But if you were doing a couple of different jobs, in fact, when I was using these, I've got the actual drill of this is when I did hang that there, and you do actually forget they're there. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to shut up talking. I'm going to put all the gear back in here, how I like it, and then we'll show you what it looks like when it's on, and I'll show you how slim it is compared to other belts of probably framers and things that you watch. If you like me, I watch a lot of timber frame videos. Awesome Framers being one, great channel. But their belts are massive, and I don't like that. So let's get the gear back in it, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's on. So you can see now the pouch is on. It does sit quite tidy, quite flat, and I like the fact it's not all bulk and there's not all things hanging off. So you can see these, they are quite tight. And like I said about this hammer pouch, that goes behind there. So when you put the hammer pouch in like that, so it does take some getting used to. It goes behind your leg, sits there, and doesn't bang into the back of your knee, which is ideal if you're not 6.5 foot, which I am nowhere near. So okay, if you look at this one then, look at this pouch, and this what's it about the tape. That's quite easy, and you can get that in and out really well with gloves as well. That's the, if you can see in there now, that's the hard sort of plastic in there, and that just goes in there. And like I said, I just use that flat bar then just to lock it off, save it coming out. That's when I've put my carpenter's pincers there, and I've got my like I showed you, my other little bits there, like my nail punch and my little chisel, 10mm chisel. There's little individual pouches in there. What I was saying about the speed square was if you look at that's quite easy to in and out like that. Yes, it catches a little bit on there, but I know it's there. Doesn't create a problem for me. So it's just, you just got to be mindful that you have to push it to the back first and in, and that's all I do. That's fine. And again, if you look at it, you've got the magnet thing here on the top, which is good. Like I said, this is where you've got your ear protection. That's where you put your phone. That's where I put my glasses. But what they're saying is, if your phone was there, you could answer it, and you could or you could put music on, and you could answer phone calls, and you could talk to it and have the speaker there. That's their idea. And on the back of it, then, like I said, you've got this here. I'll show you that in a minute. You've got that where I've got my digital finder measurer, should I say, and my chalk line. It's quite nice. And these are now the clips that I was talking about. Can you see that? All just a metal clip either side, left or right handed. And all I was saying was, if you've got your drill, it takes some getting used to, but I found it quite easy. Obviously I've got it on this side, just to like that, and it's not, you haven't got to mess around with it because it's quite a big hook. I've got used to it now, like I've already said, and it's quite easy, quite simple. So in terms of the belt, that's as it stands. And like I said to you already, I did take this hammer loop off the back of this one, because there's the same thing, and swap them over. So you can do that. You wouldn't really want this one anywhere else because it wouldn't go anywhere else. And if you have got a bigger waist, yes, of course you could put more pouches on. If you want, you could add stuff onto it. Adam's already come up with a good idea, because I was talking about if I wanted to put certain fixings in for a certain job, that I could add a little tough built clip onto there and have a little tiny pouch for more fixings. However, now I've set it up that there is loads of room there to get your hand in. Or I've just, because I'm not drilling this hand, I want my fixings in there, so that's ideal. So that's it then. That's basically the Perkins Builder Brothers tool belt. My review, should we say. I'm really happy with it. So thank you to them for designing it, because it's helped me out a lot and it's exactly what I wanted. So thank you ever so much for watching. If you haven't looked at the channel any further than this video, first of all, thank you for coming to this one. And why don't you go back now and look at the other videos I've got on the channel, 130 or so. And we've got a couple of garden rooms on there, we've got a loft conversion on there, we've got an extension that we did on a terraced house, which is a side and rear extension. That's quite a good series to have a look at. And the current one now is the rear extension on the house we've just finished a loft conversion on. So again, thank you for watching, and if you're watching at the right time, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all.